What's going on, guys? We are Tottenham TV here. We are here with Ray from City Fan TV, previewing the game against Manchester City at Saturday, 5:30 p.m. at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Very big game in Tottenham Hotspur season. But just before we get into the game, there was some breaking news today, which I want to get some of your reaction to. Pep Guardiola has signed a new contract at Man City lasting till at least 2022 with an option of an extended year to 2023. Obviously, that's going to be good news, music to your ears. Do you think that's going to give you a boost going into Saturday? Is that a timely announcement for you?
I hope so, because you guys are on a rich vein of form right now. I hope it's going to give us a boost because I think at the back of the players' minds, even a few of them some of them won't like Pep. They won't like his methods and whatever. And I think there might have been one or two players who were thinking, well, he's gone at the end of the season. So I'll just bide my time. I won't put as much effort as I should in and whatever. He'll go. I'll still be here. I've got a long contract. And now when everybody knows Pep's staying, I think that's got to, and the players have got to really up their game and commit to him for another couple of seasons. So I hope it gives us a boost because bloody hell, mate, we need it.
Was that a surprise to you, that the announcement this morning? Because there was rumours that he was leaving, or was it expected?
It's been crazy a few months because the problem is the media can say whatever they like, and no one challenges them. I actually watching the All or Nothing documentary. I think Ericsson said the same. The media can say whatever they like. They can link you to whatever, and no one can challenge them. And so we've heard so many different stories from so many different journalists and media about what Pep's doing. Pep's leaving. He's going to sign this 1-year rolling contract. He's going to do it imminently. He's going to decide in March or April if he deserves a new contract. All sorts of things. So it's really difficult to decide who to believe. I mean, I've been told from two decent sources different things. So the first thing I was told a few months ago was that he's going to sign a 1-year rolling contract, and that never happened. Then someone else said he's going to sign an extension shortly. That never happened. So it's really difficult to see what to believe. And in the end, I just said, wait to the club, say something, or Pep say something. And they needed to do it quick. And thankfully, it's been done. Hopefully, it's put to bed now. We move on to the next circus, which will be, who do we get? Do we get Messi and all that? But that's for another day.
That's coming. But it's actually a fairly similar situation to the one Tottenham are in, because both managers, Mourinho and Pep, although they have reputations for being the best managers in the game, they also kind of both have a reputation for not sticking around too long in each of the club they've been at. And Pep was when he was at Barcelona, he was there for 4 years. He was there 4 years. And then left Bayern Munich. It was 3 years, I think, and then left. So I don't think he was sacked at either one. But do you think he's found a home at Man City? Do you think he can? He has an option of extending it for another year. So can you see him staying for another 3 years? Is that what you expect?
He's not going to get a better setup anywhere in the world than at Man City. He's got his mates there. He's got cheeky Bulgaristan, Ferran Soriano. So you've got the chief executive and the sporting director. They're his mates. The chairman, Khaldan Al-Mubarak, he seems like a good old boy, and they get on well. The owner, Sheikh Mansour, he doesn't get involved. The facilities, when they developed the academy stadium and all the stuff around that, the Etihad campus, that was the best in the world. With everything that they do. He's not going to get better medical facilities or anything else in the world. They went to such lengths that they picked the colours in the bedrooms at the campus where the players sleep before a game, so that they could get to sleep easier. So they really, really went to town on this. So he's not going to get better anywhere else. I'm not sure right now. I mean, we're not spending big money. Really, I'm not sure, but this summer who did? So I'm not sure he's going to get anywhere else that's going to spend the sorts of money that would be enough to transform a team, unless you're at something like Barcelona and Real Madrid, and I don't think he's going to go to either of them.
I was actually looking on Twitter the other day. There was some big debate between I think it was on A8 Sport. They were arguing who's a better manager, Pep Guardiola or Mourinho. Do you have a strong opinion on that question?
Look, I'm sure you guys will say Mourinho, and we'll City fans will say Pep. Look, they both. I think this. right now,
who's right now? If their careers were both to end tomorrow, who's going to leave a bigger legacy in the game?
Wow, Klopp. No,
Klopp.
But Klopp. No, I think you got to put Klopp up there at what he's done over the last 3 seasons, 3-4
Yeah,
seasons.
we'll talk about Pep and Mourinho though.
Pep and Mourinho. Mourinho's a winner, but so's Pep but in the different styles. I'd like to think it's Pep because of what he did at Barca, but then you look back at what Mourinho did at Porto and Inter, and how he got those underdogs to win the big prizes. So
you also got to remember who ended Pep's reign of dominance in Spain.
Oh, it took him 3 years, didn't it?
It took Mourinho 2 years, my friend. It took Mourinho 2 years.
Yeah, but look, Mourinho did now against Pep since Pep's been here. Apart from you guys beating us a few times, but at United he couldn't do anything. He couldn't do anything against Pep while he was at United. So I'd say they probably.
He stopped you. He delayed you winning the title by a game.
It didn't matter that much. No. He didn't delay us. We delayed ourselves. We were winning 2-0 at half time. We had about 5 good chances to score, and we didn't. So that's our own fault. But I think, look, I think they're about even. I think probably, you guys will probably go for Mourinho if he wins you something, and we'll go with Pep. But it's very, very even for both managers.
Well, I feel like Mourinho takes bigger, harder challenges than Pep. I think Pep goes into the top club of each country and then maybe has them win with an unbelievable kind of style, which is so easy on the eye and so impressive to get a team so well oiled. You got to say that's world class management. But then Jose maybe doesn't always take the best team in the country, and he turned, except for maybe when he took over from Madrid, but even then Barca were one of the best teams of all time back then. So I think Mourinho takes on bigger challenges, and I think he takes on clubs where it's hard to win. Pep does, and even though Pep does it with a better style and a more aesthetically pleasing way of playing, Jose, I think it's more. I think it's more impressive when he takes a club and wins stuff than it is with Pep, in my opinion. And I know you could say either or, but I think Pep. I guess Pep's also won it in 3 countries, but Jose's won it in, I think, 4 different countries. I think he's won 4 European.
Pep's only been in 3 countries
as well. Huh?
Pep's only been in 3 countries.
Yeah, I guess he's won it everywhere he's been. It is a tight call. It is a tight call. And if you ask me if I would love Pep to be the manager of Spurs, obviously I would. Of course, I would love Pep to be manager of Spurs. But I think Josie just has a way of winning things with every club he's been at. That I don't like. Could Pep take over a Spurs and transform them into title challengers? We don't know that. We'll see.
I think he could. Pep could take over Spurs and make them into title challengers, but he spend a few quid at the same time. I think one difference is wherever Pep's been, he's been a multiple league title winner at City, at Barca, and at Munich, whereas Jose hasn't. So he's won some titles. He's not Man United. He didn't win the title. And at Spurs, he's not going to win a title. So,
never know. Well, we don't know yet. Remains to be seen. But, he won a title at Porto, Madrid, Inter Milan, he won a treble. And obviously, he won back-to-back league titles with Chelsea. And then he came back to Chelsea and won another league title. So, I think... you're probably happy about that. But, look, I think we've seen with the United job, it's a bit of a poison chalice at the moment, to be honest. Anyone who goes there, no one can really seem to get it right. So I don't think I think there are bigger problems at the club at Man United than just Jose. But anyway, we can talk about Jose and Pep for hours. Let's talk about the game on Saturday. City coming to this game in terms of results in decent form, in terms of performances and maybe goal scoring, maybe a bit lacking. Obviously, you go into the game on Saturday with the news of Guardiola's new contract. Are you going in there confident that you're going to take the game to Spurs?
I think we'll take the game to you, but I think you might take the game to us as well. And we haven't scored a lot of goals in the league. We scored, I think, more in the Champions League games we played almost than what we've done in the league. And our players have done better in Europe than they've done in the league. We've scored lots of goals this week. So I don't know what it is when they all come together in the league for City. It's just something different. We're just not hitting the back of the net. But I hope we take the game to you because I don't want to try and defend against you, and that's just against the way City play, the way Pep plays, and I don't want to be taking too much pressure from you guys. I want us to be putting you on the back foot.
And obviously, Man City obviously still have the quality to do that against any team in the league. It doesn't matter how badly they're struggling in any season. To be honest, like, even though you lost that game against Leicester 5-2, and people might have thought you're in for a tough season, but you've signed Diaz since then. You've shored up the defence, and although it hasn't been clicking recently going forward, I think it's only a matter of time before it does, because you've got so much quality there. And with a manager like Pep, who's obviously signed a new contract now, so we know he's staying, there's no one better to get you back into a creative, free-scoring mood. So you can never take City lightly. It doesn't matter what form they're on. That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, I think like you're right, Sim. We've got too many good players. We've got too many good players. We might go through a period of bad form, but those, if you've got world-class players, there'll be world-class moments in games. And I think the only difference is we're not as quick as we were, say, 2 or 3 seasons ago. We don't pass it around as quickly. We're not as devastating in the final third. And I was watching a goal or a game from a couple of seasons back, and it was like one-touch passes or one touch to control, second one is to pass, and it was all done at pace. It was all done very quickly. And I just think now we're a much slower unit, and we're giving defenses time to reassemble, to get back into shape. And then you're trying to, sometimes you see one of our wingers, they get the ball and they don't take the man on. They stop, look around, and by the time they decide to go forward, there's a second man, and it's much more difficult to be successful that way. But yeah, it's whatever happens, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a tight game. You're a very, very good side, as we saw second part of last season, and obviously with the way you started this season.
And when you, as a City fan, looking on the outside, when you look at Tottenham, do you see us as a threat in terms of into the title? Are you looking at Liverpool right now? Who do you think is in the title race?
Well, I'm loath to say, just to blurt out and say, you guys, bottlers, serial bottlers, you're not going to do it. You guys, you haven't won anything since 2008. You haven't won a league for almost, well, it will be if you win the league this season, for 60 years. But I'm loath to do that because, as you guys well know, these things can come back and bite you in the backside. Yours bit you within 90 minutes. Mine could bite you back in the backside in May. But look, that's it. That's what we're going to rely on. But you've got a manager there now, Jose, who, like you guys say, is a serial winner. And he is, you can see from the documentary, he's instilling that belief and that confidence and making you harder to beat. So if we take you lightly and say, look, Spurs always chuck it away. They're always, going to come the end of the season, they're going to fall away, the bottlers and all that. I think that's doing you guys a disservice, because you can see you look and feel so much different since Jose's arrived. Yeah,
I agree. But in terms of defensively, you're looking a lot more assured than you beginning of the season with your new signings. Diaz, Ake's played a few games. Diaz and Laporte are starting to get a really good partnership going. Cancelo's looking decent at left back, and Walker's been one of the best defenders at right back. So, are you confident you can keep out the likes of Son and Kane going back the other way on Saturday?
Well, we kept Liverpool almost out. I don't think we'll keep you out. Well, it's up to you to finish your chances. I think you'll have 1 or 2 good chances. Most teams against City this season have had at least 1 or 2 really good chances. And West Ham didn't have any chances, but they scored a magnificent goal. But apart from that, everybody's had chances to score 1 or 2 goals. And I'm sure you will, because you've got that creativity, you've got that potency in midfield and up front. If I don't know what's happened to Delhi, but you got, as we've said many times, Son, Kane, Bale knocking around. I mean, they're all quality players, world-class players. There's no denying that. So it's keeping you out. I think it's going to require a huge slice of luck and our players to be on top form. But you'll definitely get chances. I can't see you at home not getting chances against City.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be. I think it'll be a very tight game. I think Jose has a decent record in these big games, and he knows how to approach them. He's very good at getting results out of these big ties. But I can see us keeping it very tight, trying to get you on the counter. But we've got the players to do that. And I actually think, even though you've got two very good centre backs in Laporte and Diaz, no doubt about it. One thing they probably lack is a bit of physicality. They're very good technical defenders, but I feel like they're not as strong. They're not as strong as, say, Kompany used to be. They're not as like dominant in physically as they are. And so Harry Kane could maybe some joy in terms of holding the ball up and getting the ball into him and being able to hold them off, which maybe he might not get as much joy against physical defenders.
Yeah. I think Diaz looks like he's going to be physical. I mean, Antonio got the better of him the other week, the West Ham the goal he scored. But generally, he's been a lot more physical than our right backs like Stones or Garcia. So I think he looks like he's going to be the Kompany replacement. That's everybody we get. We think hopefully he is, hopefully, but he looks like he's he said a lot of the right things. He's only 23. He's got a decent amount of pace. He's got that physicality. He's got some height. He scores a few goals. He scored a couple of goals for Portugal in midweek. So there's a lot to like about him. I think I'm more worried about Son's pace than Kane's physicality. I think Diaz will cope with Kane's physicality. I'm not sure how much Laporte would, but I'm not sure how they'd cope with Son's pace or Bale's pace. That's what I'm more concerned about.
Yeah, that's the thing. I actually think, the way Kyle Walker played against Aubameyang earlier in the season, completely shutting him out, didn't give him a sniff. I'm worried he might be able to do the same to Son, because how many times does a pull ball get played in behind the seat defence and Walker was just there to mop it up and shore things up?
But on the other hand,
yeah, it could be good.
Yeah, no. Look,
on the other hand,
but the thing is, Walker relies on his pace to get him out of trouble, and his strength and physicality to get him out of trouble. But then I refer back to the FA Cup semi-final when he didn't know Aubameyang was behind him. It should have been like a pantomime. He's behind you because he didn't know. Against Lyon, Walker was looking the wrong way. He was looking at his man, Cornet. He didn't know behind him that he was playing everybody onside. And then the man he was watching to follow his move, he didn't follow him, and he was the man who scored. So the Vardy penalty, that was Walker's fault. There's another game where Walker gave a penalty against Liverpool. As much as Mane dived, Walker was on the wrong side. So, and he's been sent off for England. So that's like 5 times that's happened since the restart. So you look at Walker, and he has got mistakes in him, and that's my only concern. But he's got the pace and the physicality to cope with most issues, most problems. But I don't know, you guys know them both. Would Walker catch Son in a foot race?
I would say yes, but even though Son they're both lightning quick, but I think Walker is a bit quicker than Son. As much as I love Son, I think he's lightning quick. I think Walker over 100 yards can definitely beat Son in a foot race. It's all I agree, but all about Son's movement in behind and how he gets away from Walker. Why? I remember Son obviously hurt you guys a lot back in a couple of seasons ago in the Champions League ties when we played against you. But the difference there was he was playing down the middle as opposed to on the left because Kane was injured. And I think using pace up against centre backs, he's a lot easier for him to get away than actually playing on the left hand side when he's up against a very pacey Kyle Walker. So I think that could be the difference in that sense. But then again, a lot of the times this season, Son has been making a lot of runs inside when Kane picks the ball up deep. So that could be definitely an avenue for us to hurt you for sure. But I can see obviously that with your front three and obviously De Bruyne, who's one of the best players in the league, you're going to have a lot of avenues to hurt us for sure. But I want to ask you actually something about Kevin De Bruyne, because Harry Kane at the moment is the top assister in the league, created the most chances. Is he rivaling Kevin De Bruyne for the best playmaker in the league?
Not yet. Come on, you can't do it over 10 games and say he's the best one going. If you could do that, then you guys you've already qualified for the Champions League, because it's not over 8 or 10 games. Yeah, it's going to be over the full season. And look, you've seen. Look, I'll give you an example. Mesut Ozil, one of your favourite players. Well, he must be now because he's favorite
Fortnite player for sure.
Yeah, but the thing is, he had that one season where he scored something like 16. He had 16 assists or 15 or 16 assists by Christmas.
Yeah.
And then he stumbled after that. He hardly did anything after that. So, even KDB getting 20 assists last season was a bit of a disappointment because I thought he'd get something like 24, somewhere in the low to mid 20s. So it's whether if Kane carries on with this form for the rest of the season, he's going to win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, but are you surprised at the passing range he's been showing in the early part of the season? Do you think he had that in his locker?
Well, I'm not so sure because I've seen some good passes in the past, but he's becoming deeper to get that ball and be creative. But you think he must have some vision because he as a striker he knows how to time his runs and get in the right places at the right time. So surely he should know what a good pass is as well. What a striker would want. What worries me sometimes is where Kane comes deeper and Son will just burst through and Kane's going to feed him. And I think that's an issue for City is someone beating that offside trap. And I think Son will beat the offside trap like Lucas Moura did a few seasons ago. But I think that's the biggest risk I feel for City is Son beating the offside trap. Look, even though they're in my fantasy league, both of them have been in my fantasy team from all the season, and is either captain one or captain the other. This is 1 week I wish I score, very poorly.
All right, and also actually one player as well who has a decent record against Man City, but not for Spurs, is Ndombele, who's probably going to start against you lot on Saturday. I remember when he played for Lyon. In the Champions League, I remember he had 2 absolutely fantastic games against Man City, and that was probably part of the reason that convinced us to buy him. Obviously, he struggled a lot in his first season, but he's coming a lot better this season. Is he one that you're looking out for as well?
Yeah. I mean, you can't keep a good player down, And I always said when someone comes to play in the Premier League, there's lots of new things for them because it's obviously a different country, different culture, different environment, different language, different food, different training, and different football. It's a different kind of football. And at Lyon, he was a cracking player. So much so that Pep talked about him. There were lots of links to him. There was rumour that we had tried to buy him the season before, but Lyon wanted to keep him because they knew his value was going to keep going up. So I always say you've got to give players a year. You've got to give them time to get into it. And I think now he's had that one season. He's figured out more of what it's about. And he's going to be a danger because he causes, like you say, he causes so much trouble in those 2 games against Lyon. Now he's found his feet. Why can't he cause us trouble again?
All right. And lastly, what's your prediction then for Saturday? What's the score going to be?
5-1 City. Edin
5-1 City.
Oh, sorry. I'm living in the past. Guys. This is the new Tottenham.
You're not got Mourinho anymore.
I'll say 1-1. I'll say it's going to be a tight game. I'll go 1-1.
Yeah, my prediction pre-game is also 1-1. I think it's going to be a very tight game. 2 teams who are very high quality, I think, playing fairly well at the moment, and both going to be challenging the top end of the league, I think, come the end of the season. And it's going to be another Mourinho versus Pep showdown. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward, hopefully, some good football being played and some really good players on the show. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to Saturday. But, Ray, thank you for coming on the channel. Really appreciate your time. Also, go check out our match preview on City Fans TV. We did with Ray for him. So go check that out. Link will be in the description below. Thanks for coming on, Ray. Really appreciate your time.
Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot, mate.
All right. Come on.